We've for a very long while now been talking about the so-called extortion mafia, the construction mafia, extortion cartels, which have plagued plenty of public infrastructure development here in Cape Town. It's not a Cape Town phenomenon throughout the country. There's been this explosion, what's being called the construction mafia. We focused yesterday on the development of the MyCiTi route along AZ Berman Drive in Mitchell's Plain, and we spoke to Rob Quintus, the MACO member for mobility, who told us yesterday that in some cases local community or business development forums are compounding the problem by demanding the employment of local individuals or companies. The Mitchell's Plain Integrated Development Forum is one of the groups with a vested interest in the MyCiTi project. They've taken some issue with the comments from the city. Their founder, Marshall Nelson, joins me now. Good morning, Marshall. Really appreciate your time. Do you take issue with business development forums being labeled or roped in what's being termed the construction mafia, extortion cartels? Do you take issue with being labeled as being part of these nefarious criminal operations? Good morning.
Good morning, Lester, and good mornings to the family of CapeTalk and also to our Muslim family. Best of luck for you guys with the Pwaza. Lester, I'm sure I'm going to slap it straight, man. You know, that is something very big. If you say someone does extortion, if we look at the word extortion, it's a very big word. And sometimes we must be careful when we use these very big words because it could be taken in the wrong perspective. If my brother do understand where I'm coming from.
Explain.
You see, the word extortion racket means an organized illegal activity in which a person or group tries to get money. Now, in this case, our community members, I don't know that they were going for money. They were having meetings with the city of Cape Town since last year, September. We actually had 2 meetings in February. And I don't know what Mr. Rob Quintus was briefed about, but clearly the people that was in the meeting that gone back to Mr. Rob Quintus has not briefed him properly. Because now it's taken into proportion.
Marshall, money can take various forms: contracts, subcontracts. I'm going to put pressure on you. You must employ A, B, and C people. And of course, these can have very noble intentions. You could call saying that if there is a certain level of unskilled labor required for a particular construction development, then a certain allocation must be given to the community, unemployed residents of a particular community. And this could be very noble, but this could, of course, be used for various things, including political integration or for political reasons to try and get a constituency on your side. Money can take various forms. Marshall?
Lester, thank you for that, man. But we are not in the game of politics. We are in a game of making sure our community gets local economic development. If you look at cooperative corporate governance, traditional affairs, their website is very clear. Local economic development is an approach towards economic development which allows and encourages local people to work together and to achieve sustainable economic growth and the development thereby, bringing economic benefits and improved quality of their life for all residents in a local municipal area. That is quite clear. So when you have a company that has a massive project, there is like Mr. Rob Quintus was saying, there is a percentage that needs to look at how do we develop the community. Let's say there's a construction company that is a grade 1. When will that construction company ever reach a grade 2? And don't forget, this construction company that is from a local area has local employees. Now, if he don't get work, how can he help his local employees to put food on the table?
So, Marshall, I'll ask you directly: are you part of a group that is stalling or preventing any public infrastructure development in the Mitchell's Plain area until there's an assurance that a certain number of local subcontractors are used, or a certain number of local unemployed people are used as part of that construction? Are you preventing this development from taking place?
No, I can say that in confidence. No, we are not preventing. Like I said to you, Mr. Lester, we have been engaging with the city since last year, September. I just told Mr. Lester now, we had 2 meetings in February where we directly spoke to the contractor. And the contractor itself said, you know what, we actually discovered that we have flaws in our documents because we didn't actually see this from the community perspective. They thought they're coming in, hit the project, take 400 million and just leave. They were told to develop 4% when the national legislation speaks about 30%. So you see, we are caught here in a catch-22 where we are being blamed for other people's mistakes.
So, Marshall, why then do contractors feel threatened to such an extent that the city is approaching the High Court for an interdict to prevent groups from stalling development, and also for the city and contractors to say, well, we will continue with the development, but this is under the watch of security personnel, particularly at the AZ Berman MyCiTi development? Why do they feel threatened?
Okay, so let's say this. I know that the city always use these wonderful words, extortion, when they push a particular agenda. There's an agenda being pushed here. Let's look at what Mr. Rob Quintus was speaking about, the Kiewit project. I know of the Kiewit project very well. We have a project steering committee at that project. And the project steering committee is clearly there to do oversight, to make sure that local empowerment actually do take place. On this particular project that we are speaking, why isn't there a project steering committee? That was the only question that we asked. And I think that is where the horns will start blowing. And the guy that actually, the city official that actually briefed Mr. Rob Quintus, we are very disappointed in him because based on the briefing, you can see on their media and on their press statements, you can see there is scuffles in their language, because first they speak of 5 organizations, then they speak of 1 organization and its members. So you could see something is not right here, man. Because clearly, in our last meeting, we were more than 20 organizations. Now they said they're referring to 5 organizations. So clearly, Mr. Lester, we are very much confused when we read these statements that they put out. And I want to put something forth, Mr. Lester. The city mustn't say they're going to take out the interdict. They're going to do this. They must do it so that we can see who are the people that they are accusing. Because their statements are very vague, and it's been running almost for 2 weeks now. And we're trying to get to the bottom of who are these people speaking of. You know what I'm saying?
Marshall, I'm unfamiliar about the exact circumstances of the AZ Berman development. I'm going to ask you directly, are the local people unemployed, unskilled people, maybe semi-skilled, that can be used by the developers, the contractors, the subcontractors? Are you saying that there is 0 residents of Mitchell's Plain currently employed in that development?
In that development, I can tell you they promised entrepreneurs they're going to get from the security work, from the curbing work. The security company is not from Mitchell's Plain. Now, let me tell you what the city is doing, Lester. They're playing a game where you need to be in a certain ward to qualify for an opportunity. When you look in who's the people they brought in, they're not from that ward, they are not from that community, and they actually, I don't want to use this language, but they're actually foreigners. So we are asking ourselves, if the city is promoting, they are giving our locals an opportunity, where is our locals? And that for us is sad, because they make nice claims that it's a city that looks after the people, but go and look who's working on the sites, and then we can say. And sometimes we must not be blanket to this. But Mr. Rob Quintus can't be speaking from what he hears, and he didn't come to the community to come and see himself.
So you're arguing, Marshall, that job should be reserved for the people of Mitchell's Plain. Isn't that somewhat a form of entitlement to the people of Mitchell's Plain?
No. What we are saying is that there is a percentage in your budget that says you must do local empowerment. There is a percentage. What we are asking is that the national percentage or is that your own percentage that you have developed?
Marshall Nelson, really appreciate your time as chairperson of the Mitchells Plain Integrated Development Forum. Doesn't like being labeled as part of a so-called construction mafia or a extortion cartel. It's all about providing the skills, the opportunities, the jobs, and maybe even the contracts to local businesses and entrepreneurs.